Here's the reality. You can quite literally become a slave to your sin. A man has as many masters as he has vices. By the way, I wish I could take credit for that expression, but that actually came from St. Augustine in his book, City of God. He wrote, quote, "A good man, though a slave, is free, but a wicked man, though a king, is a slave, for he serves as many masters as he has vices." Think about that. If you have a vice and you think you're in control of that vice, you're really not. That vice is actually in control of you. And that is mentioned, St. Augustine's words is mentioned in this book that I'm holding. I think it's required reading for all men. It really looks into the history of pornography in our society. That's a book by Catholic author Dr. E. Michael Jones, and it's entitled Libido Dominandi, Sexual Liberation and Political Control. As I said, he traces how we arrived at this incredibly pornographic society that we live in today. I mean, do you even recognize everything is softcore porn? If you're on Instagram, if you're watching a woman and she's selling a Gucci bag, for whatever reason, she has to be naked. Have you ever asked yourself why? Why must she be naked in order to sell me this Gucci bag? Why must she have her boobs out in order to tell me to buy this perfume? And then if you explore your own mentality and you are one of the people that's going, oh my gosh, Candace, how could you say this about pornography? If you have that instant reaction, let me ask you this question. Who taught you that watching porn was a sign of freedom? Who taught you that nudity and pornography were expressions of freedom? Thinking about women and feminism, and they've got their boobs out when they're protesting. Who taught them that that was an expression of freedom? Really pause and think. When I paused and I thought about that, I went back to my high school health class, and I remember quite literally learning, as in it was like an answer to a test, that watching a little bit of pornography was healthy. I'm not kidding. We learned this in school, that watching a little bit of pornography is healthy. I can't even imagine what the kids are learning today. Like it's a tool for education, as if that's supposed to be the natural way that men and women come together to have sex. Well, this book by E. Michael Jones offers the even darker history. And of course, it somehow brings us right back to the very perverted psychoanalytic community, the people who love Freud. Obviously, we're talking about sexualized children. If you're a person that believes Freud was a father of modern psychology, then you should ask a lot of questions about what modern psychology is and what its aims are. And I want to tell you guys this, you have not been liberated sexually. When you look around, you see everybody and they've got their boobs out, and girls that are selling their bodies on the internet, and women that are convinced that they're models, when in reality, they are kind of just prostitutes selling their bodies to make money, and convinced that they're somehow more glamorous because they're doing it within the pages of Vogue. Yeah, all of those people have been intentionally enslaved by pornography. But the question is, to what end? Well, as I told you, I think powerful people are being blackmailed, and I think they're being blackmailed all over the world. And I'm talking from royals to basketball and football players to singers to politicians to bankers, you name it, because pleasure is now the drug. Lust is the tool for domination, exactly what this book is about. And there has been no greater example of that recently than the Diddy case.